जाता है कि जिसने 4th राउंड तक क्लियर कर लिया उसका 5th राउंड क्लियर हो ही जाता है, ठीक है. सो वी ऑल विद दिस assumption कि अब तो हो गया, ठीक है, it's just done now. But what happened? Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Anamika and today in this video I'm going to tell you about my cabin crew interview day process. So basically in this video I'm going to tell you everything that was asked to me and everything that you should know before you sit in any of these airline interviews. So without further ado, let's get into the basics. So the first question is how many number of rounds are there in any of these interviews? So for Indigo I know that there are 4 or 5 rounds. The first round was a basic introduction round. Second round was a GD round, third was a medical check, fourth was again a one-to-one HR round, and the fifth was the vice president round. So friends, if I have to talk what exactly happened during my interview days, so actually I sat for my interview on 5th of October 2021. That was basically post-lockdown. Like we all know for the fact that airline industry was severely hit due to the pandemic. So aviation stopped hiring for I guess 1 or 2 years. So as soon as the first vacancy that came for aviation, particularly for Indigo, I actually filled the form back then. So during my interview day, I remember we were a total of 859 girls in the seminar hall. I don't know how many girls were actually selected out of 859. Please see the video. So basically for the first round there was a one-to-one introduction round wherein we were called in a bunch of 5 girls and we were asked to we were actually not asked to introduce ourselves, but we were just given one topic. But then again, depending on the cases and depending on the different scenarios, first round would always or might be an introduction round wherein the HR person is asking you to introduce yourself and to tell her or him something about yourself. So in that round it can be tell me something about yourself or something which you like the most or the city you like the most or there's something that you would like to do, your area of interest. So this could be the first round depending on different situations. However, mine was one destination that you would prefer and you would recommend people flying to. So obviously since I belong to Uttarakhand and everyone knows the beauty that hilly area holds, so my answer pertained to the beauty of Uttarakhand. Actually they kept it only for 1 or 1.5 minutes. They basically wanted to see your rate of fluency, your communication skills and your confidence. That was just the thing that they actually wanted to see. It hardly mattered whether you're saying Bali or you're saying Maldives. So if I have to answer this question, if people ask me that do we need to prepare fancy answers for all set of questions, no, you don't have to prepare fancy answers. You just have to be very, very honest for the fact being that they are just checking your confidence and communication skills. So answers hardly matter. So I remember out of the 5, only 2 were selected. And to my utter surprise, something very weird happened. Like I was the first person who was asked to start. So एकदम से आंसर नहीं क्लिक कर रहा था क्या बोलूँ, but then I know my answer was the shortest, ठीक है, where other girls actually said 4 to 5 lines and I just said 1 line. My answer was Uttarakhand and then explained why, ठीक है. I kept it very short and simple. So when others were answering, however, I did not feel that my answer wasn't sufficient, but I felt that I could have answered more for the fact that I wanted to, because they were checking my fluency. But then to my utter surprise, what happened that there was a girl and I, only 2 were selected and we were promoted to the next round, that was the GD round. Longness of the answer and the fanciness of the answer doesn't really matter. What matters is your accuracy, your communication, your confidence in yourself. So moving on to the second round. The second round was a GD round wherein we were again sent in a bunch of 5 girls and that was basically of like a round table conference. So I remember कि फर्स्ट और सेकेंड राउंड में बहुत ज़्यादा गैप था, ठीक है, गैप शायद से 2-2.5 घंटे या 3 घंटे का भी था। आगे जो लड़कियाँ थी दे वर गेटिंग टॉपिक्स लाइक what did you do in pandemic, yeah, which was the economy that was hit the most in pandemic, or any general topic. Like the topics could vary from anything depending on the mood of the HR and maybe the ongoing topics that are going in the society. Because there was a topic उस time पे आर्यन खान drug case बहुत highlighted था, so there was also a topic wherein the HR gave a topic for GD to talk about Aryan Khan's bail case. So I remember that day we were sitting in that basement जहाँ पे टावर नहीं आ रहा था, ठीक है, and I had this Airtel का SIM and my mobile was just not working. I couldn't operate anything. I wasn't able to talk to my mother. I wasn't able to open Instagram. I wasn't able to open Google. Let's forget about everything. कुछ खुल नहीं रहा था. And I just heard people saying that how are you preparing for your GD round? And I was like, I'm not preparing, to be very honest. And to be very honest, I did not prepare anything for my GD round because for the fact being that आप कितना भी prepare कर लो, आपको उस पर वही सूझेगा जो आपको पहले से आता है, ठीक है. There's nothing like कि हम prepare करके चले जाएंगे, अच्छे से पूरा चीज़ रट लेंगे. This doesn't work. Trust me, it doesn't work. So I just heard कहीं से आर्यन खान का bail case ही पूछ रहा है. And for a moment I was like, okay, I was just trying to surf something on my mobile, and then I heard अच्छा आर्यन खान का bail case, and it so happened that उस time पे आर्यन खान के bail case को just 2 या 3 दिन हो रहे थे, तो I wasn't very aware of what happened actually with all these bail cases and drug cases. So I just wished हे भगवान मेरे time पे ये topic ना आए, and luckily I did not get that topic. Many girls who gave beautiful answers. I remember my group was very active, and I feel like my GD group girls were really taking initiative to talk. So now the only thing and the only skills to ace all these GD rounds would be that you have to be neither very active nor very passive. You have to be very, very moderate with your answers, because if you're trying to come out as a person who's trying to suppress the ideas of others, you would be termed and you would be marked negative for it. You need to let others speak, let the ideas of others also come on, and you should be able to keep your ideas also in such a way that you're not trying to look very dominant in what your ideologies are. So that's my take. Then the third round was the medical round, wherein it was again happened in a gap of 1 to 2 hours, or maybe more than that, I don't remember. So in this round we were sent to again a medical room wherein there were doctors of the company. Now if you want to answer me कि हम छुपा लेंगे अपने डॉक्टर से करा लेंगे, so no, it doesn't happen like that. The doctors of the company would be sitting there to see everything. Now before I would elaborate on what happened that day, there are many questions pertaining to if I'm 1 kg more, if I'm 1 kg less, just 1 kg, क्या मेरा selection होगा? The answer is, I'm really sorry, the answer is no. ठीक है? Let's forget about 1 kg. Even if you're half a kg more than their required set of scale, you won't be selected, because something similar very, very happened to me in front of my eyes. What happened in the medical hall was that we were asked to roll our sleeves, those who were wearing a Potter shirt or maybe full sleeve shirts. However, I was wearing a half sleeve shirt for the fact that I knew that they will ask to roll up, and फालतू का कौन करेगा. So asked to, they checked our hands, like whole visible part of our hands. They asked to make us like this. No visible scar, no visible tattoo in any of your visible part of your hands, your legs, your neck region. No acne in the face. And they are very, very strict when they say acne. Like there should be no acne in your face. It should be all clear. And then it was eyesight check. Then for eyesight check, they asked us to read a book. And actually, to be very honest, I read that book for the very first time. It was numbers written, and कुछ numbers पढ़ने तो मुझे भी दिक्कत हुई, but then I was able to clear it. Okay, and then we were asked to stand on the weighing scale. So ये मेरा थोड़ा डरावना part था, because I told my mother starting से, actually it was my parents who insisted me to get on to this interview. It was actually not me, it was actually them who wanted me to sit for this interview. I, however, happened to sit for these interviews, but then I always kept on saying them for 1 week that nahi hoga, nahi hoga, nahi hoga, I'm not in my weight range, I'm not in my weight range. But then miracle happened that day. However, I generally stand 1 or 2 kg above what is required for my BMI. Now, ज़रूरी नहीं है कि जो मेरा एज रिक्वायरमेंट है वही आपका वेट सॉरी जो मेरा वेट रिक्वायरमेंट है वही आपका वेट रिक्वायरमेंट होगा, बिकॉज इट डिपेंड्स ऑन योर हाइट एंड वेट. ओके, यू शुड बी अंडर their BMI, you should not be under their weight scale, you should be under their BMI, and BMI range is 18 to 22, okay, for any of the airlines. So आपका BMI कैलकुलेट होगा आपके हाइट एंड आपके वेट के हिसाब से. So usually I come around 53, 54, but that day I don't know what happened, I weighed 50 to my utter surprise, and she was like ठीक तो हो, and I was like, so that was just a miracle. So I got a lot of questions and I got a lot of DMs in my Instagram that मैं 1 kg ज़्यादा हूँ, मैं 2 kg ज़्यादा हूँ, should I go, should I not go? So if you ask me, practically वो 1-1.5 kg, half a kg भी ज़्यादा नहीं लेते, but everything is on your luck. डिपेंड करता है आपने एक रात पहले क्या खाया है, आपने शाम में क्या खाया है. बिकॉज आई रिमेंबर एक रात पहले से आई वाज ऑन फ्रूट्स एंड आई वाज ऑन लिक्विड डाइट, सो मे बी ड्यू टू दैट थोड़ा वेट ऊपर नीचे हो गया होगा. एंड then after the interview process we were actually given a week for our final medical check. Final medical check में क्या होता है I'll tell you later. So उस time तक I reduced that 2 kgs, so I was again unbalanced. So again in a whole आपका luck and obviously आपका body weight जो actual है, both matters. So no point of requesting, because there was a girl who was able to clear all 3 rounds, but then she was detained and she was asked to leave and reappear for the next round of interview just because she was 1 kg over the required weight. And again there was a girl who was 1 kg less than what it has to be for her BMI scales. So this is how we saw girls leaving. Now the next was the HR round, where all the girls who got selected were then asked to meet the HR for a 1-to-1 round, and he was basically asking about CV, like something related to your CV. So again, ज़रूरी नहीं है that if you're a fresher you do not have anything in your CV, so you need to, there's something to worry about. No, it's okay. Even if you're a fresher and you just student 12th pass, so they would ask you some other questions, ठीक है, depending on जो भी उनका मन है पूछने का. But he sticked to my CV because my CV had some NGO work, some corporate works, so he asked me questions about all those things and then he released me. So after all these interviews, the last interview was the main interview, the vice president round, and something happened with me in this vice president round. So क्या हुआ, actually this all interview round started around 8 AM in the morning and it ended around 9:30, to be very precise 9:45 PM रात में. एंड इस पूरे दौरान हम लोग भूखे थे. आई डोंट नो अबाउट अदर्स, बट एटलीस्ट आई वाज एम्प्टी स्टमक फॉर द फैक्ट बीइंग कि मेरे को अपना वेट सही लाना था, ठीक है. सो आई जस्ट एट सवेरे अराउंड 7 बजे 1 बॉल ऑफ एप्पल्स एंड पपाया एंड दैट्स इट. सो हुआ क्या कि जब वाइस प्रेसिडेंट राउंड आया, सो शिफ्टेड टू वर्चुअल मोड. सो उसमें क्या हुआ दैट वी वर 5 गर्ल्स एंड वी वर आस्क्ड अगेन टू सिट in a round table conference thing. So kya hua, I was sitting at the extreme ends. There were girls, I was sitting in the center, and again the vice president round asked us few questions on ourselves, and questions like how are you feeling, and what do you feel, why do you want to join Indigo, why only Indigo, why not other airlines. These questions were asked. So we answered all those questions proactively. But what happened that उसमें there were 10 girls. So we were sent in a group of 3. We were sent in a group of 3. So I was sitting in the extreme end. So basically ऐसा बोला जाता है कि जिसने 4th राउंड तक क्लियर कर लिया उसका 5th राउंड क्लियर हो ही जाता है, ठीक है. So we all were with this assumption कि अब तो हो गया, ठीक है, it's just done now. But what happened, ठीक है, कहीं ना कहीं वो था मन में, but there are some stories जो मेरे माइंड में था, and apart from it I got very tired and very exhausted, ठीक है, because I was empty stomach the entire day and एक तो भूख लग रही थी, चिड़चिड़ाहट हो रही थी, and there were a lot of same questions over and over again. Why do you want to be a cabin crew? Why do you want to join Indigo? What did you do in your lockdown? एक question बार same answers. So it was getting very monotonous for me also. But then I understand that it's my obligation. That is what I signed for. That is why I'm sitting in the interview. So I respected everything and I answered. बट अमंग्स व्हाट हैपन दैट जब रिजल्ट निकल गए थे, उसके रिजल्ट 10 मिनट के अंदर ही निकल गए थे. सो जब रिजल्ट निकले so 2 girls were kept at hold. It was one girl, I don't remember her name, and it was me. Actually it was me. We were kept for hold and all other girls were released. ठीक है, बट फाइनल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लेटर तभी भी नहीं दिया गया था, ठीक है, बिकॉज हम दोनों का वर्डिक्ट भी अभी बचा था. So इसी बीच क्या हुआ that my mother was sitting in the lobby and she saw that all girls were sitting in the basement and why is she coming up? So so my mother and I, we just started seeing each other and ठीक है, I was very chill, ठीक है, I was open for the fact कि नहीं भी हो सकता है, ठीक है, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है कि नहीं हो रहा है, so you know you have to cry and all that things. But क्योंकि actually there were many pretty girls whom when I and my mama was seeing, we were like ये तो हो ही जाएगी, ये तो हो ही जाएगी, ये तो हो ही जाएगी, but ऐसा नहीं है, ठीक है. That is the time and that is the day when I realized that ठीक है, external beauty matters, but is it the only contributing factor that matters for an air hostess requirement? No. Actually they see the overall package that they want: confidence, beauty, public speaking skills, confidence, because you need to understand that you need to deal 180 or 220 passengers on board, right? So you need to have that leap of faith in yourself to be able to deal with so many passengers all alone. And it shouldn't happen that in case of crisis the passenger should be overpowering you and you're not able to stick to a set of protocols, or you're not able to do the training. So actually, because the training is very harsh, the 3-month training is actually very harsh, and people who are only beautiful but not strong from within, they're not able to complete the training, okay, and either they leave from between या नहीं कर पाते. So that is the thing that they all were seeing. So my mama and I were just exchanging smiles, exchanging glances. I don't know, she seemed to be quite tense. I however was not. I don't know why, but I was just not tensed. So I was asked to go and meet the same HR again जो 4th round में थे. So I went again and they asked me क्या हुआ, why did you come up? So I said nothing. She asked me just normal question about something about lockdown days. So I just answered. So उनके पास remark लिख के आया था not smiling, ठीक है. So see, in airlines what happens, not smiling means teeth not aligned, right? Because again it's a requirement for them, for a crew to have aligned teeth, at least in intro, okay. No crooked teeth, no aligned teeth, no yellowish teeth. So they were so मेरे में remark लिख के आया था not smiling, check teeth. So they were like, remark आया है, do you have something in your teeth? Like, so he asked me to open my mouth and smile, okay, because you know for a cabin crew smile is something that is most important at all times. It has to be there no matter whatever is going in your head, you need to smile. So that's the thing. So I was like, no sir. So I smiled and then he asked me that what happened, why didn't you smile? So I told her that maybe sir, I was sitting at the extreme corner so she might not be able to see my smile, and then maybe it's too late and I'm tired, okay. But then he cleared me, he passed me for the fact that I had nothing in my jaw or maybe nothing wrong with my teeth. So but वो उन्होंने ऐसा नहीं बोला कि जॉब तुम क्लियर कर ली, ठीक है. So I was asked to I was sent in the basement again with my friends. So then I went, I waited for 15 minutes and my mother was waiting eagerly to क्या हुआ, and then she left from the hotel and she went out. So क्या हुआ, इस बीच में आधे घंटे का गैप आ गया था. मैं मम्मा को हर 10 मिनट में अपडेट करी थी क्या हो रहा है, नहीं हो रहा है. तो इस बार मैंने अपडेट नहीं किया, ठीक है. एंड शी रियली गॉट वेरी एंशियस कि क्या हो रहा है अंदर, व्हाई इजंट शी रिप्लाइंग, एंड शी स्टार्टेड सेंडिंग मी क्वेश्चन मार्क, क्या हो रहा है, राइट. आई वाजंट जस्ट रिप्लाइंग टू हर बिकॉज I was handed over my letter of contract from the company side. So actually I was filling that. Okay. So actually I wasn't replying to her just because I wanted to meet and hand over my contract to her physically. So lastly, there were 15 girls who got selected from 859 or 39, I don't know, 859 or something like this only. Amongst 800 girls, there were 15 girls who were actually selected. But वो vice president वाले round आते आते 2 girls got rejected. Okay, so finally there were just 13 girls out of 859 who got selected that day. And actually I would say that my interview time, my interview range that I gave post the upliftment of lockdown, competition wise actually it was bit tough in comparison to all other duration of interview, because you need to understand that there are freshers who wants to sit, there are people who are waiting eagerly waiting for 2 years, they are sitting, then they are also rehired, they are sitting, there are girls who got who had to leave their job, who were asked to leave the job from the company side because of the financial crisis that COVID brought. So everyone sat, and amongst that if 13 girls are being selected, I really think that all girls deserves to be here, and they might have something that the company saw in them, and that's why they all were hired. So then I got out and I handed over my contract letter to my mama, and that's how it happened. So right now there are many vacancies of Indigo that is there. So I really hope that my personal interview journey would mean something and would be of little use to you people. So I wish everyone who is sitting in the near future for any of the Indigo airline interviews, or maybe any interview for other airlines as well, I wish you all the very best. Just be confident in yourself. Just one piece of advice that I would like to give. During the interview hall, during the interview in the assembly hall, there will be many girls from Cabincrew, many girls from SpiceJet, Vistara, every other airline who would be coming very beautifully dressed, very beautifully makeup done. Let's not talk about my makeup skills, because सच बताऊँ तो आधा से ज़्यादा ट्रेनिंग में मैंने तो मेकअप किया ही नहीं था. My makeup was always done by my friends पहला 1 महीना. So interview day में भी I wasn't very dressed very modestly, but then I was dressed how according to the professional standards, but maybe in comparison to other girls I wasn't dressed that beautifully. So but then I did not have that pinch of stress in my mind कि वो इतनी सुंदर लग रही है, मैं ऐसे लग रही हूँ. No, every girl was carrying a इतना बड़ा सा बहुत सुंदर सा cover file, and I went in a stick file. However, I don't recommend you do the same, because obviously appearance matter a lot. But then what you have to understand is that stop comparing yourself with others, because you never know the potential youth that you are having and the metal that anyone other holds are very different. Okay, so you need to actually stop worrying for the fact that someone is from Cabincrew, someone is from SpiceJet, someone has 2 years, 4 experience, 6 years experience. Have that leap of faith in you and sit for your interviews with a very, very chill mind, and say what you feel, genuinely feel is true, and don't just say that for the sake of saying. And दूसरा प्रो टिप, जब भी किसी कंपनी के पास जाते हो, प्लीज़ कंपनी का थोड़ा सा बैकग्राउंड पढ़ के जाना, ठीक है? नॉट कितने प्लेन्स है, कितने फ्लाइट्स है, नॉट ऑल दोज थिंग्स, बट एटलीस्ट थोड़ा सा तो अबाउट इंडिगो यू शुड नो, थोड़ा अबाउट इंडिगो. So that's all from my side, and if you know any other information from my side, please write in the comment box, and I would like to share more information that I know with you all. That's it. Bye.